Hello, my name is Chinmay. I'm a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher. And today I'd like to show you some ways of preparing yourself for meditation, because there's nothing worse than having complete and total concentration on your breath, for example, and then realizing that you've got pins and needles in your foot, or you've got pain in your back, or your hips feel tight. So there's a few yoga poses and exercises and stretches that you can do, which don't take very long, but might make all the difference to your meditation and how long you're able to sit comfortably. And you can do these exercises whether you intend to sit on the floor in meditation or whether you intend to sit on a chair. So I'm sitting on the floor to prepare for these exercises. So the first one is to stretch out your legs. I'm going to stretch out my right leg here. And bring the left foot on top of the right thigh, okay? So that the ankle is just resting on the top of the thigh, above the knee, but it's far enough over so that the foot is actually free. And I'm going to rotate my right foot a few times in each direction. This is loosening up the ankle, so it improves the circulation to the ankle and therefore the toes and the feet. Try to relax the foot, let it go floppy, so your hand is doing all of the work rather than your foot moving your hand. And you can move the toe joints as well, just really loosen them up, give them a good warming with your hands. Also, you can even slide your fingers down the insides of your toes and give your toe joints a good stretch, which actually feels a lot nicer than it looks, I have to say. Just stretching in your toes here. Okay. And then we move to the hip. We're going to bring the left foot on the inside of my right thigh. And I'm just going to move the leg, the knee, up and down. So this helps to loosen the hip joint a little bit. If that doesn't feel like it's doing much for you, you can bring the foot back on top of the thigh, and that'll give you a greater range of movement to really open up the hip, which is very useful if you're doing an open-hipped seated posture for your meditation. Okay, and then going deeper still into the hip joint, I'm going to pick up my left foot with my right hand and hold my left knee with my left hand and rock. So I'm just rocking from side to side. This is called rocking the baby often. This really goes quite deeply into the hip joint. And if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring your left foot inside the elbow joint. And that will take the leg a lot higher and give you a deeper range of movement deep inside the hip. Feels nice. I like that. So now I'm going to stretch the leg out just to realign my ankle and knee. And inhale and really lengthen it up and stretch it out. Feel the hamstrings getting a good stretch here. And then bring it down again. So just shifting to the other side, I'll move so you can still see. Bringing the right foot on top of the left thigh. Let the foot go floppy and start to rotate. Doing all the work with the hand. This is good for making the ankles and the feet a lot more comfortable in meditation. That's usually the first bit that goes to sleep. Change direction. About 5 to 7 times is fine. And again for the toe joints, loosen them up. Give them a good warming with your hand. And again, if you wish, slide your fingers down the insides of your toes and give them a little stretch as well, right deep inside the toe joints there. And I'm going to bring my foot on the inside of my left thigh, just to loosen off the hip. This is called half butterfly posture, for obvious reasons, I hope. And if you want to go a little deeper with that, you can bring the foot back on top of the left thigh and you'll get a greater range of movement in there. I'm going to pick up the right foot with the left hand and rock the baby on this side. So just side to side. It's quite deep inside the hip. And to go a little deeper still, you can bring your foot into the elbow crease and you'll get a greater range of movement in here. Okay. So again, I'm going to stretch this leg out. Just with an inhale, really lengthen my spine, stretching into the hamstrings here. And lower down. And just to balance off the hips, bring the toes, the feet together, soles of the feet together, and a full butterfly. Just loosens off the inside of the hip joint and also the muscles on the inside here, the adductor muscles. So a little loosening, a little warming. And for the outsides of the thighs, have the feet a little bit further apart than hip width, but parallel. And we bring the left knee into the sole of the right foot. And we can do this quite quickly, just moving in the hip joint here. So this works on the outside muscles, the abductor muscles. It also loosens off the outside of the hip as well. So this will really benefit your legs as you're sitting in meditation. So for your back, I like to do a little twist, if I can. So an easy twist is to bring your left hand onto your right knee or your right thigh if your legs are outstretched, it doesn't really matter. And inhale, really lift the chest and really lengthen the spine. Imagine extending your spine upwards. And as you exhale, take the ribs around to the right, then follow it with the shoulder, then the neck, and finally the eyes. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. And exhale, turning and twisting. One more here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. You may like to do a few more of these if you have time. And exhale, turn and twist. And then inhale, look forwards. And exhale, release. We'll do the other side. So right hand on the left knee. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, take the ribs around first, then the shoulder, then the neck, and finally the eyes, like a corkscrew. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Make space between your vertebrae. Exhale, twist and turn. Inhale, lengthen upwards. Exhale, twist and squeeze. And then inhale, look forwards. Exhale, release. So just to realign the spine after that, I'm going to sit back onto the tailbone. So sitting back with your hands on your knees or your thighs. So if you were to let go, you would probably fall over. This gets a really nice forward bend on your spine. Draw your navel in towards the back of your spine, but keep the shoulders down and you'll get a tiny stretch into your neck. Exhale completely. And as you inhale, sit up, sit forward, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the chin, and breathe in fully. Exhale, coming down. Squeezing the navel back towards the spine. Inhale, lifting forward, expanding the heart space. We'll do one more like that. Exhaling down. Such a good massage for your spine, balancing your nervous system, your digestive system. Inhale, lifting up and massaging the muscles in your back as well. Exhale, down. And inhale up to a neutral position, where you should feel a little bit looser in your body, your back and your hips, and be ready for your meditation. There is one exercise that you can do, which if you only have time for a quick loosening, a quick exercise to prepare yourself for meditation, it is this. And that's to sit cross-legged, maybe legs outstretched, it doesn't matter, and move the upper body around the hip joint. Imagine that you're stirring around the pelvic bowl area. So just moving around the whole movement. And this really helps to release the lower back and to release into the hips. I'll change direction. It might feel completely different in this direction. So not only does this work on the hip joint and your lower back, but it also helps to balance the first 3 chakras, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura. So that really does help to set you up energetically for your meditation as well. So if you only have time to do one exercise, that's what I would recommend. I hope that's been useful. The second video is about different ways that you can sit in meditation. So hang around, look up the second video, and I hope you really enjoy your meditation today. Keep practicing. Namaste.